must trust God to have men and women of influence who can be able to speak for you. There are times that your level of growth would not have gotten to that dimension where you can confront the powers that be. You will need to leverage on the sacrifices and the credibility of people. There are many people who receive rewards in the Bible for the sake of others, not for their sake. Is there any man in the house of Saul that I may show kindness for Jonathan's sake, not for his sake? So it's time you begin to pray and say, Father, grant me the grace to honor every great man around me, because I will not lie, I need their credibility. I need their credibility. There are dimensions I want to get into. Do you know it is amazing that the person you are seeking help from has a friend? And what if his friend likes you? Esther invited Haman to the banquet too, even though she was going to kill him, because even if it's for a short time, Haman was still the king's right hand man. Ignoring Haman to show that she was out to kill the Jews, she would have died like a chicken. So she said, everybody is invited. Haman, you too, come. She honored him to his grave. You must receive grace. Some of you, after this conference right now, you may need to pick up your phone and find one of your uncle or someone that every time you call, you are saying, uncle, so are you trying to say you are not aware there's COVID-19? You see, that kind of attitude of entitlement is a very dangerous attitude. I am sorry, but I will say it. Forgive me, but it's true. You cannot constitute an inconvenience to great people and claim you are a stakeholder in their success because of relationship or bloodline. No, you must sustain the intelligence. Auntie, this is to appreciate you. Thank you. It's been 5 years since you blessed me, but it's still like yesterday. I am grateful. Thank you very much. That they didn't reply does not mean they didn't see it. You are not the only one reaching them. But something about your consistency and your sincerity will stand out. And you may think they are not observing you until the day they send for you. They can bring 12 years in 1 hour and bless you. Listen, let me tell you something. Great people do not always respond to you, but the day they do, oh, you will be glad you stayed. You will be glad you stayed. You are trusting that he will give you a house rent, whereas he has 5 estates. One day he just looks at you and says, come with your wife. You think he's coming to quarrel you. As soon as you enter, he gives you a key and said, that one at that side, please. Whereas you were trusting God for money to pay rent and keep suffering again, and God just used the man to wipe your tears. Please, I hope you know that I'm not being sarcastic. Listen, hardship is not a good thing. And as soon as you can get out of it, trust God for grace to get out of it. These are the systems that bring us out. Please do not ignore great people, whether in this church or anywhere. Do not resist that temptation of trivializing their sacrifice. Don't get into that sociological thing of speaking and say, is it because God has blessed you? Why didn't he bless you too? Because the same Lord is rich unto all. Remember, I told you to pray before I start teaching. I told you to pray. Don't blame me for what this is doing to you. I asked you to pray. We said we will receive grace from God. This can be a word for someone right now. Why am I praying and yet I'm not rising? I am 50 years. I am 55. And my life is almost an embarrassment. And God says, hear my servant. This is what you have done to everybody. You have called everybody your classmate. You have called everybody your colleague. There is no classmate in greatness. You must submit to greatness and open up yourself to receive. Don't say, I was in the university with this, I was this person that was not in, he was my younger brother's friend. I agree with you, but it's not profiting you now. Jesus had to submit to John the Baptist, even though he was the word of life. John said, no, I know you, you are a great man. He says, suffer it to be so, otherwise my ministry will be destroyed. You are the spiritual voice in town. I can't ignore your relevance and rise.